According to one of the most ancient myths of the creation of the world, after the universe and its crystal sphere were created by Lord Ao, there was naught but the primordial essence, the protoplasmic raw stuff of existence. Described as chaos and timeless nothingness, the sphere was filled with no more than dim, misty shadows, neither light nor dark, for such things had not yet separated. Tonight, we delve into the deep history of the world of Toril, exploring the most ancient religious conflicts that continues to rage to this day. Prepare yourself, adventurer, as we explore another deep dive into these forgotten realms. There is a formless shadow void, raw potential, with no shape and no memory. From that void, two twin goddesses coalesced, Selûne and Shar. Together, they shape the newborn world and its heavens. They create Shantaea, the spirit of the world itself, to wear the planet as a body and nurture it toward life. Selûne becomes cool silver light, moon and stars, a gentle glow in endless night. Shar becomes the rich, comforting darkness in between. At first, they are partners, shadow and glimmer, working together to smooth seas, quiet storms, and calm the wild newborn world. Then, the first disagreement began. Shantaea asks for warmth, not just cold moonlight, so that true life can bloom on her surface. Selûne wants to answer that plea. Shar wants the quiet dark left alone. Selûne reaches into the distant firmament, kindles a great fire, and brings the sun into being. To Shar, this is akin to betrayal. Her twin has invited in an outsider that burns away her shadows. That's the moment the cosmic family argument becomes war. The conflict between them tears at the primal shadow stuff they were born from. In a desperate move to protect her new son, Selûne tore a piece of magical essence from herself and hurled it at her sister. When it hit, Shar also lost a portion of her essence and was cast into the void for centuries. From the blending of dark and light energies, Mistral was born as a being of pure magic, inextricably tied to the weave. Shar is cast back into deeper darkness. The world gets warmth, cycles, and real time. From this point on, the religious war isn't a single battle. It's a constant pressure on the universe. Selûne trying to protect and guide a living world, Shar trying to drag it back toward oblivion. Ages roll by. Life spreads across the world. Mortal cultures rise, fall, and argue about their place in existence. Selûne's worship grows in coastal towns, trading ports, and among wanderers, anyone who loves the night sky as a map instead of a threat. She's venerated as the Moon Maiden, patron of navigation, travelers, sailors, and those who walk at night with good intentions. Her symbols are gentle, the crescent, the eye of silver light, the soft lamp in darkness. Her churches build hospices, offer shelter, and bless journeys. Shar's cult is slower, quieter, and much more bitter. To Shar and her earliest mortal followers, the story is different. They remember the original Shadow Realm as a calm, warm existence without pain or worry. They see the birth of the sun, time, and change as vandalism. So her first cults gather in caves, ruined places, and quiet corners of cities. They don't preach joy, they preach numbness and the ultimatum of loss. In a world where things die and love fails, Shah offers the comfort of forgetting and the promise that one day all the noise will end. She claims the portfolios of night, loss, secrets, and the kind of grief that curdles into nihilism. This simmering contrast, Saloon as light in the dark, and Shah as let it end, is the emotional core that all the later history builds on. Many millennia later, in the Age of Empires, their feud picks up a new weapon, magic itself. Mistral, born from their primal war, becomes the conduit for all mortal spellcasting, the original weave. After the fall of Netheril and the first Mistra's rebirth, the weave is still magic's main highway, and it leans towards Saloon's side of the family. Every spell cast through the weave honors Mistra, and indirectly the choice for a living, changing world. Shah despises this. At some point in the deep past, she forges a workaround, the shadow weave, a dark echo of the weave that draws through all the cracks, absences, and shadows in reality. It's specifically designed to bypass Mistra, funneling power and worship to Shah through illusion, enchantment, necromancy, and all the subtle, quiet schools of magic. Creating it makes Shah Mistra's eternal enemy and escalates the Sisters' War into a three-way struggle between moonlight, darkness, and magic itself. Netheril is where this really explodes into history. Around the height of the Netherese Empire, its arcanists discover and exploit the Plane of Shadow. One of their greatest enclaves, Thultanthar, the City of Shade, eventually shifts into shadow to survive Netheril's fall. Its surviving people, the Shadowvar, become permanently touched by the shadow weave and deeply tied to Shah. While Netheril passed from the memory of Faerun over the centuries, Thultanthar and Shah brood together in the dark. Fast forward to the later 1300s DR, the modern realms era, where most current campaigns take place. By this time, Saloon's church is widespread, but often modest. Small temples, hospices, and nightly orders like the Knights of the Blue Moon, who honor both Saloon and Mistra. They stand vigilant and patrol the night against Shah's cults. Shah's faith has evolved into a network of secret cells and front cults, especially in big cities. Her priests court the grieving and broken, offering the comforting lie that nothing matters anyway. In 1372 DR, Thultanthar returns from the shadows and reappears over the Anarok Desert as the Shade Enclave. Its rulers openly serve Shah and set about trying to restore Netheril's power, using the shadow weave as a strategic advantage. That puts a Shah-aligned empire back on the map and gives her a serious mortal power base. From here, Shah aims higher than just stealing sad people in basements. She sets in motion a religious inquisition. Then comes 1385 DR, the year of bluefire. Behind the scenes, Shah and Cyric conspire to assassinate Mistra in her own divine realm. When Cyric strikes and Mistra dies, the weave doesn't just pass to a successor, it collapses. Raw magic rips loose, wild and uncontained, and the spell plague tears across Teril and beyond. Shah's gamble is that with the weave gone, she can use the shadow weave to dominate whatever's left of magic. Instead, both weave and shadow weave are savaged. Arcane casters go mad, die, or lose their powers. Whole landscapes change. For about a century, until around 1480 DR, the world lives in the long, messy shadow of that choice. From the perspective of the Seleucid Shah War, This is one of Shah's most devastating moves. Mystra is gone. Saloon's longtime magical ally is absent. The chaos of the spell plague hands Shah plenty of raw material, ruined lives, lost memories, and people desperate for any god who will make it stop hurting. Saloon's faithful weather this era, the only way they know how, one candle, one harbor, one guided traveler at a time. Then, in that same year, the world convulses again in what later sages call the Second Sundering. Io, the over-god, rewrites the tablets of fate to rebalance gods and primordials. Separated worlds wrench apart and resettle. Dead or missing deities return. Bloated 4th edition portfolios slim back down. Mystra claws her way back into existence, a new incarnation rebuilt from lingering weave and old memories. She begins to restabilize the magic of the world. Shah, naturally, tries to hijack the process. She pushes to turn this newly settling weave into a shadow-dominated system she can control. She throws her weight behind the Shadowvar and Thultanthar's ambitions. Actively sending her followers into Faerun, they begin to hunt down Selenites to every corner of the world. It doesn't work. In the final act of that era, Elminster duels High Prince Telemont Tanthal. Thultanthar crashes into Mithdrana, destroying both the revived Elven city and the Shade Enclave in one catastrophic impact. Mystra gains full control of the weave again and stops Shah from twisting it into a new dark reflection. The Shadowvar are nearly wiped out. Shah loses a massive chunk of her influence in one fiery moment. By the end of the Second Sundering, Shah is still very much a goddess, but a wounded one. The shadow weave persists only in a diminished, unreliable form, ebbing and flowing in strength, instead of serving as a clean alternative to the weave. Ironically, it now leans on Mystra's weave so much that Shah is more dependent on the goddess of magic than she ever was before. Saloon, meanwhile, survives that whole century-long disaster, still shining over the night sky. Her faith regains some of its old footing as the world stabilizes. Which brings us to the present era, the 5th edition timeline. In the realm's current canon, Saloon is once again the open, widely accepted goddess of the moon, stars, navigation, and second chances. Her temples have weathered crises and come out leaning even harder into their core tenets, healing the broken, sheltering travelers, lighting safe paths in dangerous places. You see her holy symbols in port cities, crossroads towns, and on the pendants of people who've lost a lot and decided stubbornly to continue forward. Shah also remains, but she's back where she started, in the cracks. She remains the goddess of darkness, loss, and secrets, a malevolent counterpoint to Selune's hope. Her church operates mostly as hidden cults and secret societies embedded in larger institutions. They recruit among the grieving, the betrayed, and the dangerously ambitious. They whisper that Shah has been wronged since the dawn of time, that all this light and change is a mistake, and that if you place your pain and your memories in her hands, you'll never have to hurt like that again. She no longer has an empire of flying Netherese cities to swing around, and the days of her nearly seizing control of magic itself are, hopefully, behind her. But as long as there are dark corners, ruined cities, and hearts that would rather forget than heal, she has a degree of influence to prevail. The night sky looks peaceful again, but every Saloonite lamp has a Sharon shadow nearby, waiting. From your party's point of view, you're stepping into a war that's already so old the stars themselves are built on it. You're not going to solve Saloon versus Shah, but you are going to feel it every time you choose between remembering and forgetting, between opening a door and walking away, between lighting one more candle, or letting the darkness creep in. Whether you realize it or not, you've chosen a side. Don't be surprised if you find yourself confronted by the war that has always existed around your choices. The outcome is up to you.